We are on live. If you're watching the replay, that is awesome. If you're watching this as a course, that is awesome. I'm Courtney Richard. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited about tonight because we're going to be talking about promotion and marketing and PR and all of that. So I am super, super excited about it. We have one more minute before we get started. On one clock, I have 6, and the other one I have 5:59. So let me go ahead and open up in prayer, and we'll go ahead and get started. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Let's do it. Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for this time together, Lord. God, I just ask that you would touch every woman that is watching this tonight or whenever they're watching it during this time to be able to promote their books, Lord. And so, Father, I just ask that you will be with me tonight as I share with them the how-tos and some tutorials and practical ways of how to actually get their book out there and into as many hands as possible. So I just thank you, Lord, for all that you're going to do in me and also in these women that are watching. We give you praise, glory, and honor in Jesus' name, all for your glory. Amen. 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 Again, welcome, welcome. I'm super pumped and excited. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right. Okay, so is everybody good? Can you hear me well? Let me know. I like to start off with that. And if so, we are going to jump in. Let's see. Let me go to the chat. Hey, welcome. All right, sounds good. Okay, awesome, great. Let's do it. And get all these boxes out of the way. Okay, I got the chat out of the way. Okay, so welcome to Pin It, Publish It, Promote It, and Profit. Yay, we are moving on into this lesson. And so, yes, if I can get my buttons to work. Okay, so this week I want to ask you, where are you in the writing or illustration process? Let me know in the chat box. How are you doing with your writing? Have you decided upon a publisher? If you're an illustrator, how are those illustrations going? Let me know in the chat. I am checking that out. How's the writing going? Have you gotten another chapter done? Let me know. Don't be shy to type in. All right. Valerie says she has the titles of 7 chapters and the outlines. Good, good. Have you started writing more, Valerie? Right now, if you're just jumping on, we are just checking in to see how things are going in your writing process. If you can let me know how things are going. Yay, she says, absolutely. Good, good. Good stuff. Awesome. Okay, so one thing I want to let you know is that we are going to be doing the workshop. The workshop. We're doing the workshop now. The worksheets we're going to do at the end instead of at the beginning. So I hope that you have your worksheet printed out and you have a pen handy because we're going to go ahead and fill that out at the end. So right now I'm going to go ahead and jump right in to this. Let me close the chat box and let's go ahead and jump in. So, for the next hour, I'm going to be sharing with you and talking to you, but definitely if you have any questions, write them down. We're going to talk about them at the end. We do have the Q&A at the end. Tonight, we're talking about Promote It. So get ready to take some really, really good notes and we are going to jump in. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be talking about tonight throughout this week. So we're going to talk about marketing and strategy. We're going to talk about a marketing campaign and how that works and what that looks like from detail to detail. I'm also going to talk to you about your launch team, your author platforms, social media marketing, email list building, becoming a bestseller, what that looks like. Extras, and I'm also going to share some tutorials with you as well tonight. So I'm going to do some screen sharing, and again, we're going to talk about the worksheet and the Q&A. I see someone raise their hand that has a question. Let me see. Let me check that out real quick. If I can get that pulled up. A hand raised. Okay, so do you have a question, Melissa? Hey, Tequila. She said it's going and I'm on chapter 6. Awesome. Woo, you are rolling. It's coming in. Let me know how things are going. All right, so question and answers. Oh, she said, sorry, that was an accident. Okay, gotcha. No problem. No problem. All right, so let me go ahead on. Let me close the box real quick. I got all these boxes you guys can't see. Okay. Let me see if I can get that out of the way. There we go. I'm sorry about all that. No problem. All right, let me go back a bit before I get too ahead of myself. Okay, so worksheets, and again, we're going to have that Q&A, so we'll use that and we'll take advantage of that a little bit later. Okay, so let's dive right in. So book marketing, let's talk about it. So these are a few things that I'm going to talk about from the gate. Marketing and strategy campaign, again, we're going to talk about that launch team and the author platform. So we're going to start there. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so let's talk about marketing strategy. So the first thing that I want you to start thinking about is, who is your target audience? Because that makes a lot of sense. Some of you, this may be a little basic, but for some of you, you're just learning this. And so it's really, really important for you to hone in on who you're actually going to be talking to. I would even just write it out and kind of think about, like, how old is this person? Always be thinking about the woman that you're reaching or the child that you're reaching in regards to your audience. And so, because that's who you want to write towards, even in your posts, not just in your book, but also in your posts and in your marketing. So, and then you want to know, okay, how old are they? Are they between the ages of 18 to 25? Like, who is my audience and who am I talking to? Are they between the ages of 25 and 35, or 35 to 55, or aren't up, or are they children or teenagers? So think about how old they are and who they are, because you always want to hit your direct target audience. You don't want to be speaking to teenagers when your audience is young adult women, or you don't want to be speaking to young adult women when your audience is women and men. So just, this is really, really important. And then you also need to think about is, can they actually afford to purchase your book or any resources that you're going to be putting out there? So you need to make sure this is really important, especially when you're creating extra content for your audience. And if you're doing any coaching or courses or anything, those are the extras. Then you want to make sure that they're actually able to pay for that. Events that you have, things like that. So it's really, really important to start thinking, as I put this out here, who can actually, I want to make sure that I'm getting in front of an audience who can actually make a purchase. Okay. Also, and if you have a kid's book, then you want to make sure that their parents are able to go ahead and afford the book. So making it affordable and a way that they can get to it. And then, where is your audience? That's that where part. So where is your audience hanging out? How can you reach them best? So these are some things you need to think about. This is going to be where you're going to peg posters if you have an event and things are going on and you have a book launch. And so where are they? Are they in coffee shops? Are they online? If they are online, where are they hanging out online? If they're in your church, where are they? If you have a kid's book, you know, what what library times can you go and read to kids, and, you know, things like that. So you need to think about, like, where can I reach my actual audience, and get creative with it as well. And then, how can I reach them best? Like, you know, what's the best day? What's the best time? Is it on the weekends? Is it, you know, 7 p.m.? When are they scrolling on their phones? When are they, you know, checking their email? You know, those types of things. When are they going to pay attention to what you're actually putting out there? So these things are really important to start thinking about as you are doing your marketing strategy. Another thing that you need to think about is the timeline. So when you are getting ready to put your book out there and to start promoting your book, you need to think about, okay, do I want to do a 1 month campaign, a 2 month campaign, or a 3 month campaign? I wouldn't recommend going anywhere outside of that, because it's going to get lost. People are going to forget that you even have a book that's coming out. So I would say 3 months is a good marker, right? I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in detail in just a bit, of what that actually looks like in detail. But just start thinking about, when do I want to start my campaign? How much time do I need to be able to start letting everybody know about when this actual project is going to be released? So this is really important to start thinking about. So let's go into that. This is the promotion process. You can take a little snapshot of this, take a picture of it, write it down. But I'm going to go over a lot more in this, but I just wanted to give you just a little view of overall what this is going to look like. So when you are promoting your book, you want to set a launch date. So I'm going to give you an example right here. So if I was to set my launch date in September. Like your book is going to come out September 15th. Some of you have expressed that you have a book that you want to come out in the fall. So if I'm looking at this from a 3-month campaign, so I would start looking into June and August, because September, right? So you have June, July, and August. So that's your 3-month campaign. That's when you want to start hitting your target audience. And so you also want to create about 3 book promos. So start getting your images together. Just have something that's pretty general that you're going to have out that's different, not putting out the same thing. You want to make sure that you do put out some different things. You don't want to have the same promo going out all over the place, because people will start getting tired of seeing that same promo. And then you also want to look into, do you want to do a pre-sale? I do pre-sales. So you can decide if you want to do a pre-sale. I will do a pre-sale for about $12.99. If my book is $15.99, then I would just drop it a few dollars and say, hey, you can get this for $12.99 right now. So start thinking about your pre-sale price. So if your book is going to be normally $18.99, then $15.99 is a sweet spot in regards to getting that at a discounted rate. You also want to start thinking about your launch team, right? Who are those that are going to support you and make sure that they're ready to go? So start reaching out to them and start thinking about, who are these people going to be? You also want to make sure that you have your website set up or updated. Make sure that it's up and current. All right. You want to make sure you go and take a look at it and see, what do I need to update? What do I want it to look like? Because when you go live, they are going to go and search you out and check out your website and see more and all of that stuff, especially if you're on like Instagram, where they can go and click onto your link and see more about you and more about your book and everything else that you're doing. So you want to make sure that your website is up and current. Also, you want to make sure that you have an email list. I don't care if it's 5 people on that email list. You want to make sure that email list is ready to go. And then you want to make sure that you have press lined up, which I'm going to talk about in detail, and book launch events scheduled. So however that's going to look, whether that's online or whether that is offline, you want to start thinking about that right now. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about your free publicity. Now I'm going into all these details right now. Okay, so PR. Woohoo! I absolutely love it. This is my wheelhouse. This is what I do. This is my professional background. Okay, so this is all about public relations. Is really all about free press, like free publicity. So you want to get free press for your book. And so one of the hot things right now is podcast interviews, especially right now. If you're listening to this, this is coronavirus time. We're dealing with COVID-19, but even outside of this, podcasts are hot. And so if you can get on some podcasts and talk about your book, and not just talk about your book, but a lot of times in any of these interviews, you want to talk about the contents within your book. So if you're going to focus on a chapter, some type of interesting topic, they're always looking for a story. Whether you're doing a blog, TV, radio, anything like that, I said radio. If you're doing anything, they're looking for a story. But they're not just going to want to just talk about your book. They want to talk about a topic. And so you have to start thinking about, okay, what can I talk about in my book? What is a good thing that I want to, a good highlighted point that I want to talk about in my book? And so, or, who is this book for? That's something that they're going to ask you within that interview. So you want to be ready. Again, that's your target audience. They will ask you stuff like that. So you want to be ready for that. So start thinking about that, writing that down, and start reaching out to podcasters in regards to getting on their shows. The other thing is blog interviews. So blog interviews are very hot in regards to books. So if you're connected to some bloggers or some vloggers as well, you can actually get onto their show. You can do a Zoom video if they're a vlogger, if they have a YouTube channel. But if they're a blogger, I do interviews with other bloggers. They reach out to me and say, hey, I'd love to do an interview with you. Absolutely. And so they'll send you a series of questions, and you go ahead and ask. You answer it. I'm sorry. You'll answer those questions, and they post it in their blog. So it's just another way to be able to get some free publicity for your book, and people will buy your book through that. Okay, so it's really, really interesting. It's awesome. And then next is radio interviews, which I do love. I love radio interviews too. They're good, and you can also post these radio interviews, podcast interviews, and blog interviews on your website. So it gives you even more credibility when people go to your site, especially when media is actually reaching out to do an interview with you. They like to see that you've actually done some of these things so that they know, okay, so let me see how she showed up in this. Let me see how she interviewed in this. So it's really, really good. If you check out my website, Go to CourtneyRichard.com and you'll be able to see how mine is laid out when you go and check out. So you can see everything that I've done anytime somebody's trying to reach out to do an interview with me. That's really, really good to have that. So if you don't have that on your website, I definitely encourage you to have a spot for your videos and interviews. And then print magazine, I absolutely love. I just did a magazine. I just did a feature story, actually a blog post in a magazine. I've done feature magazine covers, and just it's a really good way to be able to get more information out about you as an author, as a speaker, as a influencer, as an ambassador for Christ. This is a really good way to be able to just get free press. Again, they are actually doing a story on you, whether they do a feature story, a cover story, a story inside of the magazine, a little piece a little write-up, an article they want to write up on you. So just keep that in mind, because that is good publicity too. And you can always post that on your social media platforms, and you can post it within your blog and to your email list. TV interviews, they are still happening, all right, and they are amazing. So start thinking about shows that you want to be on. Make a list, start Google searching, and start reaching out to those that you're interested on being on their TV show. And it can be anywhere from small to medium to big shows. A lot of the producers are looking for stories. So they are looking, just like the news, they look for stories. They want the hottest thing that's out there. And it's the same thing for you. So if you have a book that's coming up, you really want to reach out to television stations, like big television stations. At least give them about anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes it's 3 to 6 months, depending on the actual station. So start thinking about, okay, who do I want to reach out to? Ooh, I would love to be able to be on this television program. All right, so reach out to them, and you will be so surprised. They'll tell you, okay, well, what's your pitch? Send us 10 questions, and we'll get you on the show. Give us a date. And there you have it. You can actually pitch yourself. You can hire somebody to pitch you, or you can pitch it yourself. But I encourage you to just reach out. You can reach out on Instagram. You can reach out on Facebook. Even in Twitter, you can message someone, or LinkedIn, and be able to reach out to these people who have these platforms, and to be able to get onto their show and talk about the contents of your book. So it's just a matter of reaching out, making a phone call, inboxing, emailing, and saying, hey, I'd love to be on your show. Now, I do want to say this. You need to know the show's content before you just say, okay, I want to be on the show. If you are talking about women issues and you're going on a syndicated show that is for men, just to give you an idea, you're not going to be on the show. You're not their targeted person, or you're not going to be able to reach their target audience. Their target audience is talking to men. And so just to give you an idea, you need to think about, okay, so what is their main focus? And then you want to read or watch some of the shows, or read some of the content, or read the articles, and really be able to check it out to see, okay, do I even fit? I actually had somebody reach out to me recently, this past week actually, to do an interview on a television show. And she was asking me to do something on divorce. Well, I've never been divorced. And actually I was coming up on my anniversary, which was 17 years of marriage. And so I was like, I cannot speak to that audience, because I've never been divorced. I can't relate, right? How would I even speak to these women on that particular topic? And so it turned around when she said, you know what, well, we can talk about another topic. Can you let me know another topic? And we can definitely do that. So she wanted to have me on the show, which I absolutely am so grateful for. Amen. But just to give you an idea, you just have to make sure that you're able to do it. And you don't always have to take every interview, because there'll be people reaching out to you as well. So when they see your content, when they see your book out there and they see your promos, guess what? They're going to start reaching out to you. There are a lot of people that are going to start reaching out and wanting to do interviews with you. So that's a big win right there. And I do get that, and you will get that too. And so just putting out your content before people and pitching it as well, I'm telling you, you're going to have that press. You're going to have that free press, and you'll be able to get that message out there. And that's the main thing, is just really spreading it out there. I do pitches. So just to let you know, InsideOutMediaGroup.com, you can definitely just schedule a call with me, and we can go over like how many pitches you want to get. I can get you, okay, you need 15 radio pitches, you need 20 TV pitches, you need how many blog posts you want to maybe do 5 blog interviews. So those different things that can set you up with 10 or 15 podcasts. So if you're interested, basically I would be the person setting those things up, and I would basically tell you, okay, you have an interview at 10 o'clock on Monday morning. These are the questions they're going to be asking you. So we want to be prepared for that. So basically I'd be your basically your virtual assistant in regards to pitching you, if you want to look at it like that. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Basically takes the work out of your hands. I will do that for you if you're interested. Moving on, launch team. Okay, so you need to think about who are they? Like, think about the people that you can reach out that can help you and support you in launching your book. So the one thing you want to do is, before you even reach out to them, prepare the list, but start thinking about your message. Like, what are you going to inbox them with? What are you going to ask them about? So you don't want to just randomly say, hey, I have a book coming out. Would you like to be a part of my launch team? You have to have some type of strategy, some type of message. Like, the book is going to be about this. It's going to be coming out this time. Do you have time to devote at least, a couple of weeks to be able to help me to do this? And then, and basically, like I said, just ask them if they would be able to do that. It really is about the asking. If you don't ask, you're never going to know, right? So you need to ask. And then the other part is, you can schedule a Zoom video, schedule a meeting with them to talk about, okay, these are the things that I'm going to need from you. And so that way you're actually able to see the people who are interested, and you can post this on social media. You can post this on your platforms. You can email, you can text people in regards to how to reach them. You can get on the phone and call them if you're closer to them, and you can ask them to be a part of your launch team. And you can have anywhere from 5 to 10 to 25 to 50 people to 100 people on your launch team. It just depends on how many people want to do it. Just keep in mind that people are very, very busy. People ask me sometimes to be on launch teams, and I have been on some, but it is a lot of work. I have to read a whole book. I have to give feedback, and I have to do reviews, and I have to take pictures and do all these different things. So when you are asking someone to be a part of your launch team, you are definitely asking them for something pretty big. And so you want to make sure that they have the time to be able to do it. So don't back away from asking because there's some time consumption with it. Still ask, and then let them be the ones to tell you yay or nay. And so when you talk to them, just a little bit more detail about this, when you talk to them, you want to explain to them what you're actually going to need from them. One, like I said, you're going to need them to read your book. So you want to send them a free copy. Hint, you are going to need to have some copies. So we talked about publishing last week. So this is what I recommend before I go any further. When you are getting ready to launch your book, this is my suggestion. I want you to make sure that before your book comes out, like if you were doing a 3-month campaign, your book wouldn't come out until September. So right now is a good time to start letting people know that it's coming out, because you already started writing it. So it's okay to start letting them know, because you won't have like a physical picture of your book. You don't have to, may not have that until July, and that's totally okay. But you're at least teasing them and letting them know about your book. But here's the thing. I want you to make sure that you give yourself enough time to where you can actually have a copy of your book in your hand, that you can actually do a video having the book in your hand and saying, this book is coming out. You can get this book right now for $12.99, because in September 15th, this book will be out ready for you to buy, but it's going to be $15.99. So you want to make sure that you have a copy, and you want to make sure not just for promotion, but also to be able to let your launch team have a copy so they can begin to start reading it, so they can start giving you a review, because reviews are huge, and I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. So you want to give them a date also to review. All right. So don't just leave it to chance and say, and this is what I'm learning as well. It's just like, oh, can you do a review for me? Which I've totally asked people to do that. Do a review for me. Great. You have the book. Great. Do a review. This is after it's already out and they're getting a review. But how much better to have that review, which is recommended actually, to have that review before your book comes out. So that way, when your book does come out, the reviews are already there. People have already been reading the book. They've gotten the pre-sale copy. So they're actually able to share what they're actually getting out of it. So that when your book is released, when people go to Amazon, they'll actually be able to see the reviews, and it helps them to be able to click the button and buy your book, People pay attention to reviews. It's just like when you're buying a product, a top, a shirt, you know, an item or something, or a book, you want to go and look at the reviews. So people do pay attention to that. So you want to make sure that you give them a date. So when you're talking to these women and you have 25 women, I would stretch it out and say, hey, I would like for you to do this review on July 5th, you to do this review on July 10th, you to do this review on July 7th, 20th, 13th, whatever. Set it up to where they're doing your reviews. They're reading the book. They're actually reading the book and they're giving an honest review. But it's not just where they're giving this review and it's everybody's doing the same review on the same day. That's the thing you don't want to do, okay? And then you also, when the book comes out and they're buying the book quite naturally, right? When people start buying it quite naturally, then you actually want to ask them to give you a review. So this is something that you want to ask your launch team as well, to be able to take pictures. Like I talked about that a little bit ago. Take a picture of the book. Show an unboxing. Somebody did an unboxing for me. Show that video on your social media platforms or add it to your blog or your YouTube channel. Talk about it in your podcast. Link it there. Also, in your video, do a video. Have them to do a video about it. Like they're opening it up, they're reading it. Oh my gosh, I just got the book. Take a picture at Starbucks or a coffee shop or wherever. Those are so good. You see a lot of that happening, and all of that is promotion. It's all about getting your book out there where people are seeing that people are buying your book. That is what that is about. All right, let's talk about author platform. Moving on. We got a lot to cover tonight. Okay, so your author platforms, these are a variety of different platforms. Of course, there are many more, but these are some things that you can think of and that you can utilize. So one would be your website. If you don't have a website, I highly recommend you getting a website. The next thing would be your Facebook fan page. If you're not on Facebook, I highly recommend you get on Facebook, even if it's just for ministering the gospel, if it's for sharing your book, letting people know, just encouraging people, even if it's just for that fact. If you don't have it, I encourage you to do it. Amazon Author Central, I'm going to show you a little bit of that tonight. Some of you may be familiar with it and some of you may not, but I'm going to show you through this training what that actually looks like in just a bit. Also, Goodreads, that's another one. So Amazon, Goodreads, you definitely want to make sure that you get onto there because a lot of people do read Goodreads. They go on there. Also, your blog or your vlog and email blast. These are your author platforms. Take a picture of it, as well as Instagram. Instagram is very hot right now. Instagram and Facebook, and I know TikTok, which we'll get to in just a bit, but these are your author platforms. So let's talk about organic and inorganic reach. I'm going to go into talking about social media, how to build your email list, and we're going to talk about becoming a bestseller. Okay, let's dive in. All right, so social media. Let me check real quick, see about questions. Check in the chat. She said, so will you pitch for us? For example, if I wanted to pitch a radio show but don't know how, this is where your services come in at? Absolutely. Yep, that is what I do, honey. All right, perfect. Keep writing those questions down. All right, so here we go. Social media. So what you want to do is you want to maximize your social media. You definitely want to maximize your social media platform. Again, if you don't, pick one. You don't have to have a bunch, but pick one if you don't have any. But that's where people are. The reason why I suggest social media is because we're very social beings, right? Majority of the people are on social media. And this is where your audience lives. This is where parents live. If you have a child's book, this is where, if you're looking to coach teenagers or mentor teenagers, they are on these different platforms and you want to be able to reach them. Your people are out there. It's not like how it was back in the day when you did television commercials. Don't get me wrong, television commercials are out there, but most people are online. And so you definitely want to reach them. If you want to sell books, you've got to be online. So my suggestion would be 3 to 4 platforms is what I would encourage you to pick. Now, if you pick too many platforms, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this. So my encouragement, if you see these platforms here, these are up and current today. Social media, we're always getting some new platforms every so couple of years. As you know, we have TikTok right now that just came out. It's been around for a while, but everybody's onto it right now. And Facebook is kind of scrambling, like, what are we going to do? Because this is a competitor for them. And we got to figure out how to use this too if you're not a millennial. All right, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn is very, very good, especially for professional use. Pinterest, Snapchat, and TikTok. So these are the major players in the social media game right now. So what are you on right now? Let me know, what are you on right now? What is your top three? What are your top three platforms that you're using right now? Because this is going to come into play and be very, very important when it comes down to you promoting your book. So let me know in the comment section, what social media platforms are you ladies on? I'm going to pause here for a moment. I want to see. All right, Victoria says Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter a little. Gotcha. Tequila, Facebook, YouTube, IG. Good. Keep it coming, ladies. Valerie, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. I got a full house tonight, ladies. Come on, share with me. I'm waiting on you to let me know. So Valerie has 4. See, 3. Good. Good. Okay, awesome. All right, so good. So start thinking about those platforms that you're going to use. And then next up, you want to build up your audience. So this is the thing. You want to connect with more people. However many people you have right now, I want you to start connecting with more people, okay? So if you have a Facebook fan page, start building it up. If you have if you have Instagram, start looking at people that you want to follow. Look at hashtags and see, okay, this is a person I want to get connected with. Another thing is some of the loops that they have out there. Like there's one loop that I really like, and it's called Faith Writers Loop. Actually, it's on Instagram, and it's a way to connect. It's a really good way to connect with other like-minded people. And so with the loops, actually, some of you may be familiar with the loops, but if you get with a loop, you can actually connect and build your audience. Because Instagram, with the algorithms and everything changing all the time, it's really, really hard for you to just be able to reach your audience and reach more people and new people, because you want to connect. You don't want to just keep talking to the same people, right? This is your audience, and that's great, and you're connecting with them, but you also want to meet new people. And so that's a great way to connect with like-minded people, to get with a legitimate group of people that you're going to be able to communicate with and build lists with. I mean, I've connected with so many people in this loop that it is just amazing. I think one of you on here is from that loop. So that's awesome. So start connecting with people on Facebook, even in your profile, like connecting with others, and even in groups, creating a group and connecting with more people on Facebook. And so just reach out, start inboxing and connecting, genuine, authentic, not spamming people, but building those relationships, not just online, but even offline. If you're in your community or in your city or town or at events or you're at a conference and stuff, whenever that starts opening back up again, be able to start connecting with people. Even your restaurant, you know, if you have a woman that's serving you at the restaurant and you have a way to service her and let her know, I talked to her about the Lord, and let her know about your book that's coming out. Hey, and you have a card, we're gonna talk about that in a bit, have a little promo card in there, give it to her. Give her, you know, if you're at Walmart or, you know, your local grocery store, totally let them know. Market. This is social media marketing we're talking about, but this is also organic marketing that we're talking about. This is not just online, but also offline as well. So build up your audience. Let people know that your book is coming out, and tell them about your pre-sale, even online. Okay, let's go on. So one thing you want to do also is you want to do giveaways on social media, on your platform. So if you have something, say for instance, you want to give away a bundle, you want to give away, say for instance, I want to give away, you get buy one, get 2 free, something like that. You can totally do that. Or you can just give away one of your books and just have people to just get a taste of what you're going to be putting out there. Also, you want to do a Facebook Live. I know some of you are not comfortable with doing live videos. Even if you're not on Facebook, you can do a regular video and post it on your website. But something like this is a suggestion that I want to give to you, is when you're doing a video, whether that's Facebook Live or whether you are recording a video, talk about your book, but talk about 3 points from your book, okay? So if you want to talk about chapter 1, 2, and 3, you can. If you want to talk about points from just chapter 1, 3 points from just chapter 1, you can. Highlight some things, something that you can talk about that's going to be interesting to the reader, so that they can go ahead and click a button and purchase your book, because that's what it's about. You want people to dive deeper and get the content that is within your book. So you have to do all of these different creative things, and social media is a great way to utilize that. Also, you want to create posts from your book. So you might want to take a little blurb or an excerpt from your book and post it on Facebook, a little something. It could be a quote from your book or anything. You can look at the back of your book and post something on there. You can post your bio. You can take a picture of your the back cover. I've done that, done the cover and the back cover. I've gotten sales like that. So you definitely want to make sure. I'm going to be talking more about money, making money with your book next week with profit. But you want to start putting it out there and doing some creative things. So start thinking about, what kind of images would I like to put out? What kind of excerpts can I pull out? Right now, you ladies are writing. Some of you already have your book written. So start thinking about pulling out some of that content. And all of that is like repurposing. You don't have to recreate it. It's already done for you. This is all about promoting, ladies. So promote on social media. All right. This is one thing I want to tell you as you are promoting. This is something that I came up with a long time ago. And I want you to remember this. Saturate, but do not aggravate people with your stuff. And this is why I'm going to be talking about content calendars later on tonight in this training, because I want you to be able to mix it up and spread it out. And you'll see exactly how I do that in the content calendar. So that way I'm not always talking about my book, because people will start, saying, you know what, you're not going to hear it. Okay. But they're going to start doing it, and they're going to start getting frustrated because they're like, oh my gosh, she keeps talking about the book, So you want to make sure that you mix up some things, and I'm going to talk about what that mix up looks like. Okay. So I believe in saturate. Absolutely tell them about your product or your project or something that you're doing. Absolutely. Whether that's an event surrounding your book, your launch date, your book itself, you want to let people know about it, because that's how you're going to make the sales. Otherwise, and that's how you're going to get your message out there. But if, the whole point is saturate, do not aggravate people, because they will drown you out. They'll unfollow you. They'll do all those things because they're tired of seeing it. So just make sure that you put it out there, but just be mindful of how much you're putting it out there. A lot of times you hear a lot about value, giving value, pouring into your audience, speaking to them, talking to them. And that's why when I talk about giving the 3 points, you're actually teaching them, but you're also sharing with them at the end about, hey, there's more in the book. You can go ahead and grab it. So that's just another thing to just keep in mind. Now let's go into email list building. This is very important because email is like real estate, right? I look at my email a lot. And so people look at their email. And this is a great way for you to get in front of them to promote your book. If you have a blog, I don't know if some of you, because I don't have this in here, I want to say this. I'm a blogger, so I speak on blogging a lot. But if you have a blog, if you don't have a blog, I encourage you, because it's very hot today. It's not out of the way. Video is big right now, but blogging is huge. A lot of people read blogs and today, so they're not going anywhere right now. So if you're thinking about doing a blog, I highly encourage it, because it's just another piece of content on your website outside of your book and outside of your videos that you have that people can go on, click on, and read. And it builds your audience. It really does build your audience. I have thousands of followers, thousands on my email list, because I put out a blog often. So I encourage you to create a lead magnet. Some of you are familiar with this. This is a great way to build your email list. So if you have not created a lead magnet, I'm going to tell you how to do it tonight. I'm going to give you some ideas of what you can do as a lead magnet, and I want you to start creating it. Yay. This is a workshop. I want you to start creating your lead magnets so you can get more people on your email list, so you can start getting your book out in front of them when you're ready to sell it. Okay, so here we go. This is what a lead magnet is for some of you who have no clue what I'm talking about. It's an incentive that marketers, you will become a marketer, okay? If you're going to self-publish, you are going to become a marketer. And even if you're traditionally publishing, you're going to become a marketer. So it's an incentive that marketers offer to potential buyers in exchange for their email address or other contact information. I'm going to say that again. This is an incentive that you will offer to potential buyers in exchange for their email address or other contact information. Some people are even getting text messaging now. They're starting to do that with text text messaging services, but also even inbox. You're seeing that more and more these days. So let's talk about a little bit more about what a lead magnet actually looks like. It's really something that you're giving away that's free for their email. So in exchange, you're going to give them something for free and you're going to get their email address. So it's a win-win situation here. And this helps build up your email list, your numbers, okay? This is big if you're gonna do traditionally published book, because publishers want you to have a pretty hefty email list, okay? Because they know that your book will now get in front of your actual audience, all of these people. So versus doing a social media, Facebook ad or something like that, you don't have to do that because now you have email list. And you already have a watching audience. So here we go. So you can create a PDF guide, something that you can create that they can just have in a PDF form. They're going to download this. You get their email address. They download this PDF guide. And you need to think about what that's going to be. You can also do an ebook, and it doesn't have to be long like I showed you last week. It doesn't have to be long. It can be a simple 15-page, 10-page ebook. But it can be even bigger if you want. I wouldn't recommend giving your free ebook if it's if it's your blood, sweat, and tears, and you've been working really hard, and it's a 100-page or 100+ page ebook, and it's your actual book that you're actually putting out there in a print form. Which, let me tell you, Amazon really loves and rewards ebooks, so they're actually getting bigger on ebooks versus soft cover and hardcover. So just something to think about. They love ebooks because more and more people are on their devices. So, which means more sales for them. Okay, so just start thinking about that. But I don't recommend you giving away your big ebook, right? If it's something small, you can give that away. Also, if you want to give away a report, you may want to create some type of report and giving data, giving facts, information that people can get, and that way they can see numbers. Now, some people like numbers, and they want to see, how things are run and how things work, from a financial. You can give a financial report if you want to, if you're writing a book on finances. That's another good thing too. Whatever your expertise is, this is what you want to create, and it's simple. It can be a 2-page PDF. It can be a 1-page PDF. Whatever you decide to do, it's up to you. You can also do a chapter. You might want to give a chapter of your book for free. A lot of people do that when they're writing their book. So think about which chapter you'd like to give. Usually it's between 1, 2, or 3, which a lot of you have already done. So you actually have a lead magnet already. So what you would do is you would just save that creative little piece. You can create it like I talked about in Canva. If you want to, or you can just basically turn your word into a PDF and just give that to them. That's something that they'll get. If you want to learn more about that, that is definitely a how-to. That's a tutorial, and it depends on your website, how your website is set up. If you want to know more about that, just let me know. We can talk about that during our time together. The other thing you can do is a 3-point video. I talked about that, but now I'm talking about it in regards to an email marketing as a lead magnet, okay? So if you created a video, you can take your phone and create this, or you can use your camera if you have a good camera. I have a Canon 80D, which is really good, high quality camera. I can just do a video on 3 points from my book, and I can use that as a free giveaway, and I can get email addresses with that. And how you promote that is you promote that on your social media platforms, or you promote it to your already existing email list and have them to share it with other people so that they can then get on your, to get this free, whatever it is that you're giving, or even something else that you're giving. You can even do this on YouTube. You can do a 3-point video and post it up on YouTube. And then in the comment section is where in the description section at the bottom, you can actually link your website there. They can click on your website, and hopefully you'll have a pop-up box or some type of subscription on your website where they can go ahead and sign up for more of your information or get onto your email list so they can get more content. So these are things that you want to start thinking about doing. You can also give away a 30-day devotional. Maybe you want to do like something simple to encourage women with a 30-day devotional, or do something for children, something simple, connecting with moms if you have a children's book or a teen book or a young adult book, reaching out to young adults and create something for them specifically. You can also do 25 tips. This is just an idea, 25 tips to growing as a ministry leader. If you want to reach out to leaders or influencers, you might want to do a list of 25 or 50 to 100 things. And trust me, people like lists, right? They like lists and they like tips. And so if you can give them something for free with a bunch of tips, you'll get their email address and you'll be able to share your book information and more stuff that you're doing. So just something to think about. All right, moving on. I talked about this already, write a blog or vlog, and you want to get more subscribers. You want to start asking people to subscribe. I know that may seem like the most basic thing, but you actually can link that on your social media platforms and let people know, right? I would love for you to subscribe to my email list. You got to ask them. Trust me, people will click on and boom, done. Even when you write your blog, I have a pop-up box. I put a pop-up box, which is a button, in a box that tells them they can get more resources. Hey, if you want to get my blog in your inbox every Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. and more resources, then sign up for my sign up right here. And guess what? They sign up. They can sign up right there. You can have it on the side. It doesn't necessarily have to be a pop-up button. It can be right on the side or somewhere on your website that they can actually subscribe. If you don't have a subscribe button, ladies, you need a subscribe button, okay? And then you can do Facebook ads. This is your inorganic reach. We talked about organic, but we're also talking about organic as well. I'm sorry, inorganic as well. And so Facebook ads and boosted posts. You see that a lot of times, especially if you have a Facebook fan page. In order to do Facebook ads, you need to have a Facebook fan page, okay? And to boost your posts. So if you do not have a Facebook fan page, I highly encourage you to get one if you are an author or a speaker, or you are trying to minister to people or reach more people in your for your brand or your ministry or your business, and I highly recommend you do this. And you can also link your actual website to, or have something that says sign up, right, for people to get whatever it is that you want them to get right on your fan page. So if you don't have that set up, go ahead and set that up. This is just a great way that people can get your content and you can get their email list. You want to build it up. Now, here are a few email list building platforms. One is Leadpages, which I absolutely love. There's a monthly fee. I think you can pay like $32 a month, but a yearly fee, an annual, that you pay like $300, right? And they're just so clean. Some of you may have seen some of my lead pages out there, but a lead page is lead page. Let me just tell you what a lead page is. A lead page, this is the company Lead Pages, but let me tell you what a lead page actually is. A lead page is basically, if you look at a Facebook ad, right, and you see the ad, the content, they're trying to get you to actually click on there and get more info or whatever, because they want you to get onto their email list. They want you to purchase something from them. So what you'll have is you'll have your copy from your ad, and when they click on, it's going to bring them to a landing page, right? Well, that's like a lead page, a landing page. So, and that's where they're going to get more information about what you're actually offering, or how to get this free whatever it is that you're giving, or how to sign up for $27, right, or $97. That is basically where they're going to go to. They're going to go to a landing page. And so Lead Pages is an organization, is a company that actually has beautiful landing pages that people can go to click on your stuff, and basically where you can collect your leads. It's all it's about, is collecting your leads so that you can get the information out to them about your book. And even your products, anything else that you're going to be selling. ClickFunnels is very popular. That's another one. There is a price associated with this one as well. Just go to clickfunnels.com and check it out. MailChimp is very popular. Constant Contact is another popular one. I use MailChimp. I love MailChimp. I think ConvertKit is another one that you can actually utilize. And then, of course, your website. You can actually do a landing page right on your website. It depends on your website. I use Wix, which I absolutely love Wix, but there's WordPress plugins and all those different things that you can use if you're using WordPress. And then I think Tumblr has something too. So just look into the different platforms that you're on. I think GoDaddy has some stuff too. So these are the different platforms that you can utilize in regards to getting out your email, okay? Let's talk about becoming a bestseller now. All right, are you ladies good? You're hanging on? Let me see if I have any questions. Take a little break for a second. Just a quick break to see what's going on. All right, gotcha. Awesome. I don't know. Looks like something came from me. I don't know how. I didn't post anything unless I clicked the button by mistake. But anyway, all right. So becoming a bestseller. Becoming a bestseller. So the biggest thing right now, Amazon is killing the game right now. So I just want you to know online is where people are going to purchase books. So you want to be on Amazon. And even though there's New York, bestseller lists and all these other companies that are doing bestsellers, Amazon is just the place to be for your book. So just write that down big as just bold, right? Put it on an index card in your face because you want to be on Amazon. So a lot of people are wanting to be an Amazon bestseller. So you want to be and, get on their list. So the thing about becoming a bestseller is all about, one is writing a good book. And I think I have that in here. If it's not on this screen, it's on another one. You want to definitely write a good book. And quite naturally, you're going to become an Amazon bestseller if you write good content. People are going to buy the book. They're going to do reviews and people, and you can become a bestseller. Now, where you're ranked, that's another thing. We're going to talk about ranking in just a moment. But the biggest thing about becoming a bestseller is you want to make sure that you choose the right categories. I talked about this a little bit last week. You can actually email Amazon or give them a call and ask them to put you in 10 categories for your book. And you would actually choose, you want to send them the different categories that you want to be in, and they will do that for you. They will put you into those categories. They will add those categories to your book for you. So you can actually have them. They will do the work for you for free. So just, you can give them a call. They actually have people that you can actually talk to with Amazon, human people, where it's not just automated or just a chat box. Or again, you can definitely email them. All right. So weekly rankings. I want to tell you about this in regards to becoming a bestseller. They do weekly rankings. So you can be a bestseller. You can be number 1 today and be number 100 tomorrow, right? It just goes up and down. It fluctuates. They do weekly rankings. So if you're still ranking high, you can be a bestseller for weeks. You can be a bestseller for months. It just depends on how your book is selling, the reviews, and just the referrals and how many people are finding out about it, and the publishing and all. Another thing that takes place is the publisher is putting you up and ranking you, getting you ranked because of the categories that they're using. So there's a little bit of plug and play that they do, right? A little bit of plug and play. But they've been working with people for a very, publishing companies have been in the game for a long time. And so they know what to actually put, they know how to categorize things. And we talked about that. So go back to the video last week to see about those different categories. Just to give you an idea before I go and show you a tutorial, my book, because of the category that my publisher, because this book Identified was done through Westbow. And I think I told you all about that. But my Identified book was done through Westbow, which is a division of Thomas Nelson. Or Zondervan. I think they're both. I can't remember it now. It's been so long. Zondervan, Thomas Nelson, something like that. I gotta go back and remember that. But anyway, Identified. Look at my book, a number 1 bestseller. But look at the category in Presbyterian. I'm not Presbyterian. I'm not knocking anyone who is, but my publisher did that, right? Even though I'm in Christian Women, it's all about identity. It's knowing who you are in Christ and all these different things. And it's a nonfiction book and it's a Christian book, right? All of that. But this book, it was a number 1 bestseller in this particular category. And you see how recent, how I pulled this up and was able to see this. So let me just tell you, clicked out of that for a second, that you can become a bestseller on Amazon, but it has a lot to do with your categories. And it just has a lot to do with just writing a good book. Really, that's really what it's really about. So let's move on. Now I'm going to do a tutorial. I'm going to share my screen with you ladies. Give me just a moment. I'm going to get out of this. And I want to show you right here what I'm talking about. So if this is Amazon bestsellers, okay, now I'm looking at Christian women issues. This is a completely different, I can go into all, if you look on the left side, you can see all the different areas that I can go to, right? All the different sections. But in this particular section, these are the Amazon bestsellers right now. I pulled this up today, right? So this is what it says. Our most popular products based on sales. Just talk about that. Updated hourly, not just weekly now, it's hourly. So you see this 1, 2, they're going to tell you the top 50 on this first page. A lot of these, I want to tell you, are traditionally published. I want to tell you, it's not that you can't get on here, but a lot of these are big. They're the big dogs, okay, honestly, and they're working with major traditionally published companies. So if you go here to the second page, this is going to tell you that basically this is the top 1 to 100, okay? And I'm going kind of fast, but I want to bring it down to the end. All right, so this is this. I can link this in the group, and I can link this on the website, so you'll all be able to get this, so you can just take more of a greater look, because I want you to see the types of books. I want you to look at these covers of the books, because you can do covers like this as a self-published author, but these are the different types of books and the way that they look that people are buying, okay? Let me go back to number 1. I want to show you something. Okay. Number 1 is Get Out of Your Head by Jennie Allen. Jennie Allen has rose to the top. I just want to tell you. She basically, I think she was with Lifeway, but she didn't start there. Everybody has a starting place. And so right now her book, and you know, this is another big one, Girl Wash Your Face. And here's a devotional. You see that? 52-week devotional here, Bible study and all that. This is another devotional. Devotionals are hot. If you're thinking about writing a devotional, that's really good, ladies. But even if you have a storybook, right, a children's book or anything like that, you want to go into, you know, it's going to be on the left-hand side where you'll be able to go. It's not in here because this is not, I pulled up a specific thing, but you can also pull up children's books as well on here to see what those best-selling books are as well. But let's go a little bit deeper. I want to show you something. She's a number 1. She has 1,236 ratings here, okay? If you see that, she's number 1 bestseller in Christian inspirational. That's the category she's in. Let's go a little bit further down. Categories are important. I want to show you something. This is from the publisher. Her publisher had this created. You can totally do this. I'm going to tell you how, as a self-published author as well. These are the reviews that basically just were the publisher put together and put out. All right, so here we go. She is with Waterbrook. This book was released on January 28th. She shares her ISBN. You see all of this happening here. You are going to have to figure out if you're self-publishing, you need to know the pounds of your book, your dimensions of your book. We talked about that last week in regards to dimensions. But you need to know pounds in regards to how much it's going to cost to ship. These are the, view the shipping rates. But let me show you how she's ranked. She's ranked 58 in books. You see that she's in the top 100 books. Now, she's number 1 right now. But in the ranking, this is where she is. Now, here are her categories. You see this? Christian women issues, Christian personal growth, Christian inspiration. She is number 1 in these categories. If I was to click onto this, I'm going to go click on, and that's where it's going to bring us to where we were before. You see? We would all love to be in the top 100, right? It takes marketing. It takes building your audience. It takes the Lord, amen, giving you favor to become the top. It takes getting it out in front of people. It takes categories. All of that is what it takes. Getting it out. You see how they're taking pictures of the book, like we talked about, videos of the book? This is what you want to have people doing for you. Your bio. All right? She has her picture, bio. Now, let me go up. I want to show you something because I talked a little bit about the author platform. On Amazon, you can actually have an author platform. Let me show you how this looks. All right, let me go right here, follow the author, okay? So I can follow her if I want to. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to bring me to her author page, her author platform. And this is where all of her products are going to be. Stuff that she looks at, stuff she recommends, all of this. About Jennie here. who has bought, customers who has bought her books right here. These are some big dogs that have bought her books as well. And see, all of her books are here. Books, 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 books she's in, books she's supported, books. She's actually done some excerpts in some of these books. But do you see that? You go to the next page, there's more. All of these are her books. This is an author platform. And you can have an author platform. And I'm going to show you how to sign up for this author platform. Learn more about Author Central right here. Click onto it, and you will create your actual platform, your author platform. If you have any questions, let me know. But this is something that you would definitely want to do, is to set up your author platform, okay? Let me go back to, I'm gonna get out of this tutorial. I'm gonna go back to the presentation. Okay. All right, so let's talk about getting 5-star reviews. So it's all about, like, everybody talks about reviews, reviews, reviews. Well, it's true. You want to get reviews because that's going to help people to get your book. One thing I want to tell you about 5-star reviews and rankings is that you really just got to trust God for them, because of course you can ask people to do reviews for you, but you can't ask them to give you a 5-star review because it's based on their opinion. It's based on the way they felt about your book. So I don't recommend that you demand it or request people to do 5 stars. Just let them read your book, write good content, and let them go ahead and do your review. Because at the bottom, how I have this note here, people are entitled to their own opinion. So, and another thing I want to encourage you is to let you know that don't get upset if you have a bad review. Like if you have a bad review, like people I've heard, like people have gotten bad reviews because you can't take them off, you can't do anything about it. But if somebody does a bad review, it's okay. They're entitled to their opinion. Think about all the people who are loving your book. Think about all the people who are getting help, that are emailing you and encouraging you and saying, oh my gosh, this has changed my life. This has helped me. This has ministered to me. Oh my goodness, this was such a great story that I read to my child and they loved it. You know, I mean, just receive that. Thank God for that. Don't worry about the other stuff. Shake it off and move on. Keep writing. Move on to your next book. But, you know, encourage people to do reviews. Don't tell them to do 5. I've literally done something where, not me personally, but I actually I did a gig on Fiverr, and they were requesting, basically the guy was demanding 5 stars from me. And I just was like, I can't give you 5 stars because I don't believe this was a 5-star project. And so I did not like the demand of the 5 stars. So I would never just basically course or try to get somebody to give me 5 stars. If they love it, they're going to do 5 stars. They may get 4 stars. They may get 3 stars. It's okay. But this is how you get 5-star reviews. Write good content, and you are going to get 5-star reviews. And you'll be able to use that as credibility as well. All right, so I'm going to share with you some extras right now. We're doing good on time. It's only 7 o'clock. This is great. We're doing great on time. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about some book mock-ups. I'm going to talk to you about Author Lab Pro. I'm going to show you behind the scenes of that, because that is a very great resource I'm going to share with you tonight. I'm going to show you Content Calendar. I'm going to show you on Canva, and I'm also going to show you practically what that looks like and how you can begin to start creating your own, because this is going to help save you time, but also help you to reach more people and keep your content consistently flowing. Website, just a little bit about websites, because it is important that you have one. And marketing ideas, I'm going to share with you a few marketing ideas, and I'm also going to show you a sample marketing plan. I know that was a request from last week, and I want to help you out with that. So here is a book mock-up. Now, this is one of my books, the one that I told you about before. It's an ebook that I created, and these are the mock-ups. And I believe I said, I can't remember if I said I was going to give you guys 3 or 5 mock-ups for signing up for this program, but whatever it is I will do mock-ups for you. I will send these to you, and it's different ones, and you'll be able to choose. You can choose which way you want to have it, whether you want a tablet, a notebook, a CD, whatever, DVD, or, you know, just a book itself, whatever. There's so many. There's thousands of book mock-ups, and I'm going to show you in a second what I mean by that. But I'm actually going to give you some of those for your actual book cover because you signed up for this. So just so you know, but this is really good. The reason why book mock-ups are good is because it gives you a variation of your product. And it doesn't have to be a notebook. It doesn't have to be a CD, but you want to show different samples of how people can read your book. in people's hands, on a tablet, on your computer, on your phone, as a little promo. There's all different kinds of ways to be able to do that, because that gives people variation where they're not getting tired of seeing your book, because they're seeing it in all these different forms. And let me tell you, when you put this out there, sales come. They do. It's when you don't put stuff out there sometimes is when there's crickets. But when you put it out there, you'll get some play on it and people will purchase. All right, so let me show you what this looks like. So Author Lab Pro. I'm going to share my screen again, I'm sorry, so you can see what I mean by this. I have it already up, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. All right, so Author Lab Pro, this is what this is. Right now, you'll see that this is, you get a limited access for only, this is like a vault of information, a vault. And I'm going to link this so that you can see this. I'm going to put this in the group and actually email this to you as well for those who are not on Facebook. But I want you to see, you can actually pay $29 a month for this subscription. And it's a vault of ways of how you can promote your book, sell your book, create. It's really all about creation. And I believe the guy who did this is actually a Christian. So look at it, says, Author Lab is every tool you'll need to write, publish, and promote your book all in one place. So even after we're working together, you will have this amazing resource to be able to get more info. So I want you to look at this video if you can tonight. That would be great. I'm not going to do it now for time's sake, but I want to show you behind the scenes of what it looks like because I do have it. So this is what it looks like behind the scenes after you purchase. Okay, so when we talk about those mock-ups, let me just show you an idea of what you can actually do for your mock-up. Like for this, if I take my book, I want to show you just some of the things that you can do with it. Do you see that? My book is in all these different forms. It's thousands, literally. And I can use this for promos. We're talking about promotion. So I can use this to go out to promote my book in all of these different ways. Is that not amazing? That's amazing, right? So you can do that. And there's so many different ways that you can actually put it out there, as you can see. Very creative. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. So it's amazing. I love it. So that's a little bit of the background with that, but also want to show you, let me get out of that. Is you can create your book cover here. You can create your ebook and your print book here. It breaks everything down. It shows you how to do this. There's also all kinds of different tutorials and software. They'll show you all of these things. Do you see that? All of this is for the $29 a month that you have access to. Video trainings on how to do Amazon book ads, motivation for writers, brainstorming a better title, 21 novels, launch to markets, all of this, 7 steps to Kindle success. This is amazing. Outlining your novel. There's just so much in here that you can take advantage of. So I highly recommend it. So I just wanted to share that with you. That is a resource that I think would be very, very good for you as writers and authors. All right. And you also have unlimited stock photos. So it's amazing. I'm going to get out of this. Okay, good. Let's go back to the presentation. We're almost done. All right, so Canva, social media posts. Some of you are familiar with Canva, some of you are not. If you are familiar with Canva, oh my gosh, I love it. So let's just go there. I just want to show you just a little bit. If you have not experienced it, there's a free version of Canva and there's also a paid version of Canva. And so I want to show you what that looks like so that you can start creating, because Canva is actually where you're going to create a lot of these posts, especially when it comes down to, let me get it to here, especially when it comes down to your content calendar. So right here is Canva. I have the paid version, but The free version is is really, really good. You can do videos. You can do your Facebook cover here, Facebook posts, checklists, cards, videos, like I just said, presentations, Instagram, all kinds of stuff. Create logos, flyers, invitations. You can do bookmarks. I created my bookmark here for my book. You can do book covers, magazine stuff. I mean, just to go to the book covers, just to give you an idea of the different samples that you can do. These are book covers. And you can actually go and pick a photo and add photos, you know, women in coffee. Let's just say women in coffee, right? And then I go to the template and say, for instance, I want to do, I don't know, I'll just throw that in there. Let's see if it'll let me. We're on Zoom, so it may, there we go. All right, and kind of want to do this one. Let me do this one instead. Can I do that one instead? Let me do that. I'm gonna change it out. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me switch it out. I want to give you I want to really want you to see what this looks like and how this works. There we go. Okay, good. So if I go back to the photos and let's just have them having some coffee, right? And then I can just change the text and I can just call it coffee chats. And then I can put my subtitle here and I would put my author name there and I would have a book cover. That's how that works. And there's so many to choose from, right? There's so many to choose from. But Canva does a lot of things. Even if you go down to the posts, like social media posts. And so if you wanted to do Facebook posts, just to give you an idea, it's already configured for you. And so you can just go ahead and plug that in, change the pictures, change the text, you know, drag a photo over. If I wanted to change that, I just drag that in there and there you see the women having coffee. And you can just create this if you wanted, like upload your photos. Like I have my photos here. You know, I can upload my photos in there. So you can upload it yourself. You can do videos. I don't have videos in here. I've never done videos. I use their videos. But images, I have tons. And so this is how this works. It's amazing. There's so many different things. So go into canva.com and play with it and start creating your posts. And there's tons of them, tons of different, if you look at it over here, tons of different ideas and ways that you can just play around. And that gives you difference. That gives you variety where you're not posting the same stuff. It gives you color. It's just so amazing to use. So I'm going to get out of this and I'm coming back to the presentation. We're almost done. We're about to wrap up. I'm gonna go through a little bit faster so we can get done. Okay, all right, enough of the tutorials. Okay, content calendar ideas. So this is what I wanna share with you. You're going to need a content calendar. I'm going to encourage it because this is gonna help you with trying to figure out what am I gonna post tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm gonna post. And then like you don't talk to your audience for a week or 2 weeks. So I want you to stay in front of your audience so that you can build it up so that when your book is ready, they'll have people ready to start buying it because they've been watching your stuff and seeing your stuff and seeing all this value you're putting out there. So I would encourage you to create a weekly or a monthly content calendar. If you can't do a whole month, that's totally okay. Just do a week, set some time aside, maybe a couple of hours in one day, and start creating a weekly content calendar or a monthly one. And then I want you to schedule them. In Facebook, you can totally schedule them. Your posts if you want. If you don't do Facebook and you're not on social media, you can do an email blast and you can still post your picture in there and you can send it out to them, but you still want to have some type of schedule for yourself on a calendar. I like Hootsuite. Of course, there are other platforms that you can use to schedule your content. I use Hootsuite, so check that out if you haven't already. In your content calendar, just a few ideas here. You can do a quote, scripture, you can do an excerpt from your book, an excerpt from your blog, vlog, podcast, a storybook, YouTube, your YouTube channel, videos, or you can do your Facebook, Instagram live. You can do that. you can actually, when I say you can do that, your Instagram or Facebook Live, is what I'm saying is that for your content calendar, you want to schedule that. You don't just want to go, oh, you know what? I think I might do a Facebook, Instagram, or a Facebook Live today. Plan it out. Don't just leave it to chance. Another thing is do stories. A lot of you are doing stories, and I think that is awesome. I need to learn more about stories. And then you can do a poll, you can ask questions, you can go live, like I just talked about. You can post a song or a movie, kind of switch it up. Don't put out the same stuff. You can even put something related to your book. Post about your family or your workstation. People like to see you're at work, that you're actually doing something. You're working on your book. You can show that, like you're typing on your computer or whatever. Have somebody take a picture of you. An image of yourself as the author is really good to be able to do stuff like that. If you're an artist, if you're an illustrator, have somebody take a picture of you in your art, like getting ready, all this prep stuff that you're doing. And then also, just a few additional tips is I want you to show up, and I want you to show up often as you possibly can. And you're showing up as your authentic self. You're showing up continuously to where people are not getting tired of you, but they're seeing like, oh my gosh, she's doing some awesome things. Like, oh my gosh, she's inspiring me to do what God's calling me to do. So you will be surprised. Like as you're writing a book, people will say, oh my gosh, I need to write my book. Or, oh my goodness, that is so amazing. I can't wait to get I can't wait to get her book because she's putting out such amazing content already. But if you don't show up, then nobody's going to know that you even have a book. Nobody's going to know that you have something coming. Nobody's going to know about stuff that you're getting out there to help them. So you want to keep showing up, and you want to engage with your audience. Don't just leave it a chance and say, oh, I'm just going to post and I'm not going to talk to anybody. You need to, if you put out a post, you need to be able to answer questions. You need to be able to talk to them, communicate with them. You need to be able to heart, like, go to their stuff, share, all those different things to stay connected with your audience, because that is going to help them when it's buying time, because you've already connected with them and it's authentic, it's genuine. This is not fake. You're genuinely loving these people, and you're talking to them because they're real people, right? When it comes time for you to promote your book, you're going to get sales. People are going to buy. So you want to make sure that you are authentically connecting with people, and putting out a lot of value, like I talked about, and just pouring into your audience, basically. Just pour into them, love on them, and just put out content. I want to talk a little bit about website design and revamping. If you have a website, go take out your website and see if it's ready. Is it ready for people to start going to with your book? Do you have a store? Can people purchase your book? And another thing, you don't have to have a store. If you only have one product, you don't have to have a store. You can actually just put your book on your homepage. But this is just something to think about. So whether you are creating a website from the beginning, or if you are revamping, you need to look into having anywhere from 1 to 10 pages, and you want to have a beautiful layout and design, right? That's easy. It's functional. People can go to it. A lot of times I want to tell you that a lot of times people will not go from that homepage. They may go to one other click. And so you want to make sure that they are getting a lot of what they need on that first page when they click onto your site. When they scroll down, they can get as much info as they can, because people are busy and people are stretched for time. And so if they can go to that homepage and get everything they need, you're winning. You are winning. Another thing too is your menu layout. Like, what is on that? Don't have too much, but don't have too little. So if you want to think about your home, blog, video, media, contact, something like that, or your store. Those are the type of things that you want to think about. Brand colors. What is the book color and what is your brand color? So think about that. You want to lace that all throughout your website so that it's consistent. And again, I talked a little bit about the store, which is good to have. And then audio. If you want to have audio messages, then look and see if there's audio set up. I know Wix has audio set up. You can actually have people purchase, like if you want to do an audiobook, they can purchase one chapter for $1.99 or $2.99. However you set your price, which I will show you next week what that looks like and how you can do that, because we're talking about profit on that. But you can set that up on your website. So if you have a website, great. If you need a website, you can get in contact with me. I design websites as well. Just email me at info@insideoutmediagroup.com, and we can talk about your website, getting that done, so you can have a beautiful author website, platform, influencer website out there. Okay. All right, moving on. Let's do a little recap, and we're going to wrap up here, and I'm going to go into the questions, and we're going to go over the worksheet. So For the marketing recap and just a few more ideas in regards to marketing is one, you want to take advantage of the free press that I talked about with the PR, with the radio, podcast, TV, all of those things, reaching out. You want to have some business cards because you do go out into the public. When you can get out, you're going to get out, and you want to have something in your purse that you can actually pull out and say, here's my card. You also want to make sure you have your elevator pitch ready so that when you're talking to people, you know exactly what your book is about and what you are about. And because you never know, you might be talking to somebody that has a show that says, you know what, I want to get you on my TV show, or I want to get you on my podcast. So always be ready. You also want to make sure, we just talked about websites, make sure your website's up and ready and updated. You want to have a speaker kit or some type of one pager for your speaker info. So bio, speaking topics, your fees. If you have any questions about fees, let me know. In regards to speaking, I'm going to talk more about that because we're talking money next week. Your author platform, we talked about those platforms. Make sure like what platforms you want to use. Email blasting, you want to create your lead magnet to grow your email list. You want to connect with more people, build up your Facebook page if you have one. You want to stay abreast of current trends that's going on in the book world. You want to make sure that you're using good graphics, and you want to post, post, and post. You have to stay in front of people so that when it does come time to sell your book, people will be ready. This is a sample book marketing plan. All right, now this, you want to take a little snapshot of this because I'm going to go into detail a little bit about this, and then that's it for this session. So a sample book marketing plan. So if we did a 3-month, as we talked about, that's a 90-day campaign. You want to set a budget for that. Like, how much do you want to pay for Facebook ads or Instagram ads or, you know, anything, LinkedIn, any type of ads that you want to do for your book project? I have $1,500 here. It doesn't have to be $1,500. It could be way less. But my point here is that you want to set some type of budget for yourself because you're going to have to buy books for your book launch. You're going to have to pay for stuff for your book launch if you're having a live event, food if you want to have food, you know, all those different types of things, place that you're going to rent, your marketing material, all those different things you want to, you know, factor in. Your website budget, you know, how much is it going to cost you to do a lead page, lead magnet, all those different things. So I want you to create a budget, and I want you to just start listing out everything that you think that you are going to need for your book marketing campaign. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to get a launch team. You don't have to. I want to tell you, I want to encourage you to do this, but you don't have to. But you at least want to get 25 reviews if you can. You don't have to. You can get 10, you can get 5. But as many reviews that you get is just helpful. As you can see, Jenny Allen had 1,000. She had 1,000 and something for her with the views. She has a large audience though, of course. But think about that. If she has 50,000 or 100,000 followers, she only has 1,000 plus reviews. So that just goes to show you out of the audience, how many people, what is that? 10%? I don't even know what percent is that. It's not even a lot of people that are getting on there that are putting reviews. So you need to get as many people as you possibly can to get your reviews if you can. It's just great to have reviews. PR campaign, the press, we talked about that. You want to start looking at, okay, how many people do I want to reach out to? Do I want to, for this particular campaign, do I want 5, 5, and 5? And what I mean by that is I want to have five podcasts lined up. I want to have 5 TV interviews. I want to have 5 radio interviews. So 5, 5, and 5. So start thinking about what type of PR campaign you want to start doing. And then you want to choose your 2 to 3 social media platforms to promote on, and you just want to promote. When you are promoting, and I talked about, you know, saturate, don't aggravate. When you promote, the biggest thing is with that content calendar, which is actually one of the last slides, the content calendar, when you create that, you are showing a bit of a mix up. You're not showing everything that you're doing with the book. You're mixing it up. So you're not going to aggravate people because you are showing your family. You are showing your workspace. You are showing, you know, sharing a scripture, sharing a passage or a video or 3 points, whatever. You're showing up in different ways. And that's the thing with promotion. You just want to make sure that you're showing up in different ways. Another thing, because you're an author, is to start thinking about some local bookstores that you can be a part of. Like, even if it's just miles away, or if you have to go, I live outside of Austin. We just lost our Christian bookstore in our community, but I was, you know, in the Christian bookstore, and you can set up consignment and actually start getting paid from that, which I'm getting into profit next week, but we'll talk more about that. But think about this: 1 to 3 local bookstores or nearby bookstores. And I'm going to give you ladies a list. Look out for this in email on the website and in the group. I'm going to give you a list of bookstores this week. Tomorrow's Friday, so you should receive that tomorrow. So just be on the lookout for that. And then the bookstore list is actually going to be a list of Christian bookstores as well as general bookstores, like the top bookstores in the country that you are going to get. I'm going to give that to you so that way you can start reaching out. I also do pictures for that as well. Another thing you want to think about is hosting your book launch. All of this is about your book marketing campaign. This is your book marketing plan. You want to host your book launch event. So where's that going to be? Is it going to be a virtual one? Is it going to be offline? So think about that. Where's the place? Are you going to have just a few people there, 30, 50, 100? And you want to make sure that you have books there. Okay, it's a book launch. You want to make sure that, and you have a time for signing your books. And so also after your book launches, I need you to know this, is that once your book launches, that's really when the work really begins. You're probably like, are you kidding me? But really and truly, when your book launches, honestly, it's go time. It is go time. You want to have some of those interviews scheduled before your book comes out, but you want to have a lot more scheduled after your book comes out. So now is the time to start doing your pre-launch stuff, because a lot of you don't have your book out yet. But when you get that book out, get ready, because you have about 6 to 12 months to promote your book, to get the sales and to get people to start buying and getting on shows and all this stuff, and basically to set yourself up as an even greater influencer out there. So now is the time. Like right now, I'm in that time. So I know what it's like. So here we go. Promote, promote, promote. Because guess what? If no one knows about your book, then no one is going to buy your book, sis. So I want you to spread it out as much as you possibly can. Don't worry about, when people say promoting, it's not about promoting yourself. It is about promoting the work that you've done to get out to help people. Because you see all these people out in this audience here, in order to reach them, you've got to let them know about it. And how do you do that? You've got to promote it. So it's not about self-promotion. So here's my question to you. What is your marketing strategy? And I want you to start thinking about that this week. I want you to start thinking about your actual strategy and your plan and how you're going to go forward in moving in promoting your book, right? Because you know what you need to do based on all this that I talked about today. What do you need to do in regards to your strategy?